Here's the recording of page 129 to 131. And we've got the spread of civilization, India and China. And check out the pictures over here and, read what they are. Sumer and Egypt are the two earliest civilizations known to us. By 3000 BC, both were thriving along the banks of flooding rivers, building impressive cities, and even trading with each other. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers in Mesopotamia and the Nile in Egypt had been generous in their gifts of rich soil. The enterprising inhabitants of the river valleys figured out how to harness floodwaters and use the soil to grow abundant crops. Sumer and Egypt were human firsts, but they were not the only river valleys where civilization emerged. In other parts of the world, other peoples followed a similar pattern. Along the banks of the Indus River, city builders were at work by 2500 BC. Thousands of miles away in China, another great civilization took root, one that has evolved through the millennia to this very day. The river valleys of India and China, like those in Egypt and Mesopotamia, became cradles of human civilization. On the banks of the Indus. Let's turn first to the valley of the Indus River. We know little about this civilization, but what we do know makes us eager to know more. The early inhabitants of the Indus Valley planned cities with grid-like streets, developed sophisticated water systems, and built large buildings. They invented a complex system of writing, which scholars have yet to understand. By 2500 BC, this Indus Valley civilization was flourishing. By 1500 BC, it had declined, and the Indus Valley people themselves began mixing with others in the region. And here you can see, here's India here, and then here is in China, where we're going to be looking. The Indus River lies at the edge of a huge peninsula jutting from the southern part of Asia. We call this giant peninsula the Indian subcontinent, so right here. So it kind of sticks out. Today it contains the countries of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. The Indian subcontinent is home to nearly 1.5 billion people, more than 1 out of every 5 people living on Earth. The Indian subcontinent has the shape of a diamond. At the top of the diamond are the Himalaya, majestic snow-capped mountains that slope from the subcontinent's northern point to its eastern point. This mountain range, the highest in the world, separates the subcontinent from the rest of Asia. The southern tip of the diamond, right down here, stretches into the Indian Ocean. At the diamond's eastern point, the Ganges River flows into the Bay of Bengal in the modern-day nation of Bangladesh. And on the western point of the diamond, in the modern-day nation of Pakistan, the mighty Indus River runs to the Arabian Sea. It is this waterway, the Indus, that gave India its name. On the map of India on this page, locate the Himalaya Mountains, Ganges River, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea, and the Indus River. So much of the subcontinent's early history ebbs and flows through the waters of the Indus. The river begins high in the snowy valleys of the Himalaya. Each year, when the warm spring sun melts the snows, water tumbles through the mountain passes. The river swells and flows toward the sea, repeating the familiar pattern of the three rivers you already know: the Euphrates, the Tigris, and the Nile. As the Indus overflows its banks, it deposits alluvial soil, dark, rich silt, and turns the floodplain into fertile fields. By the third millennium BC, this rich soil made it possible for Indus Valley farmers to grow wheat, barley, and a variety of fruits. Using ample irrigation canals, the farmers reaped even greater harvests. Bountiful harvests, in turn, brought the two big rewards that made civilization possible: a surplus of food and a division of labor. The people of the Indus, like the people of Mesopotamia, domesticated animals, many of them unique to the region. Have you ever seen a zebu? It's a kind of humpbacked oxen found mainly in Asia. A strong creature when you put to the plow. Indus Valley farmers used zebu, cattle, pigs, sheep, goats, water buffalo, and perhaps elephants as well. For the first time in history, some of those who tilled the Indus Valley soil grew cotton and mastered the art of weaving its lightweight, sturdy fibers. The people of the Indus came to produce a tough, light cloth that would be in demand throughout the ancient world. More than 300 cities and towns sprang up in the valley of the Indus River. Two of them stand out. One was called Harappa, the other city, 400 miles downriver, the Mohenjo-daro. Much of what we know about this civilization comes from these urban sites. On the map on page 132, locate Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. And we will stop the reading here, but here is where you can find Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So that's the end of the reading of pages 129 to 131.